Hi everyone. So this is a quick video. I want to just talk a little bit about people potentially using AI to write their papers. So just a story, something that happened to me a number of years ago when I was teaching at a different college. I had a student who we didn't have AI back then, and so what he did instead of writing his paper is he went out on the internet somewhere and found something written on the topic and turned that in. I just did a Google search, found it, and I ended up giving him a 0 for that. So he ended up not being able to pass the course because he was plagiarizing, he was cheating. He wasn't very happy about that, and so he eventually I got an email from somebody, an anonymous email, somebody threatening to blow me up. And they, in fact, talked about the fact that he wanted to see my flesh burn and all this. The person was very upset. But it was an anonymous email. I looked at the email, I looked at how it was written, and I said, I think I know who that is. We had to get the police involved because it was a threat like that. And I said, I think I know who it is. The police, in fact, got a search warrant. They went to his house. They found seized his computer. They found the evidence that he had created those email addresses. And he, in fact, got arrested. And so it was a whole big thing. He had some other things he was doing in his house that he shouldn't have been doing that ended up in really being arrested for a while. But I tell you that story because this person I was able to track somebody down who threatened me just by looking at their writing, because your writing is like a fingerprint, right? That is, people write in a very specific way. It's almost like listening to the voice. If you read enough, which I've read enough because I've been teaching for a long time, but if you read enough, you can look and see what people are doing. You can see their how it is that they write. And then you look at look at something else that they turn in and say, that's not written by the same person. I've noticed a little bit, I wasn't saying much, but on some of the discussion boards, I'm like, I think some of these discussion board posts were written by AI. And then I was getting some rough drafts on project number 3, and that was written by AI. And I think that one of the things we think about is that, well, now we've moved to something that's less personal. It's easier to use something like AI, use AI to write your papers. Also, now that maybe you know what AI can do, maybe some students didn't know, and they're like, wait a minute, I can use AI to write my papers. And we do that. And so there are a number of things that I can look at in the paper and say, I don't think the student wrote this. Partly because if I have your other assignments that you've written, which I have, right, papers 1 and 2, it's like I have this fingerprint. I know what your writing looks like. And if you turn in something that doesn't look like that, I go, yeah, you didn't write it, right? Because we can't change our writing that quickly. So just keep that in mind as we're moving towards working on project number 3. I don't want to see these kind of AI written projects. And again, there's a number of little things that I can look for and say, yeah, you didn't write those. So keep that in mind. I'll go ahead and just write the essay, right? Again, remember, in one of the reasons why I don't give grades, right? The reason why I just say you either get full credit or I give a 1 and want to talk to you about it is because I don't want to incentivize AI, right? Or plagiarizing using AI. Because if, you can get full credit even if your writing isn't perfect, right? Even if, I say, look, you do something and we'll talk about it and eventually you'll get full credit. Again, even if it's not perfect, you can do that. You can still, students can completely get an A in this class without resorting to AI and, relying on their own writing skills. You might have to talk to me a few times, but you can still get that. So watch out for that, because I don't want to have to start giving out 0s and 1s for people who are going to potentially be using AI to write their papers. So if you have questions about what you need to do, go ahead and ask me. Don't resort to technological means to get your papers written.